This is the 2024 WeedTuber tier list, and in this video, we're going to be ranking some WeedTubers, but I want to explain how I'm going to be ranking them. So, majority of it is going to be how much I like watching their content. Yes, here and there I am going to take into consideration what they've done in the community and their overall impact in the scene, but majority of it is just how much I like watching their content. So let's get into the video. So let's get into this. Let's start out with Bentley Blaze. So with Bentley Blaze, I haven't watched a lot of his content, but I do like it. Like, I think he's been around for a long time, so that automatically puts him up there. But I am mostly going around this who I like watching. And I will say I do not watch all of his videos. I do watch some of them, but it's not like I am constantly watching his videos. But I do think they are pretty good. So I'm gonna put him in B. Alright, so next up is Silent Hippie. And Silent Hippie is OG, let's just be honest here, okay? She's been around for a while, everybody knows her, she's a reputable person in the community. I've watched a few of her live streams. Obviously her content is for females, so I'm not gonna like bully like it that much, but I do respect what she does, and I've seen a few of her live streams, and I think they're pretty fire, so I'm gonna put her in it. Alright, up next is Mr. THC. And Mr. THC is one of those people that I've been watching since I like first got into the whole WeedTube scene. And I really like his content, obviously. I've been watching him since like he's been hanging out with iNDK, because obviously iNDK was like one of the first WeedTubers I've ever watched. And for what he's done for the community, like I've made money because of this guy, and he's promoted my videos before, so I'm really thankful for all of that. And I really like his content. Like I said, I currently still watch his videos when he posts. Like, he doesn't post that often, but when he does, I watch. I've watched the current LMC documentary on him. I really like this guy. I'm gonna put him in A. Alright, up next is Strange Show. And I think Strange Show is one of those people that's like really unique in the community, because when I first like found him when he only had like 20,000 subscribers, he was doing the Copein method, where he wasn't showing him consuming, he was only talking about it, and that allowed a lot of his videos to get pushed onto the platform. And that's how I found his videos. And at one point he kind of structured my YouTube channel away, because before I started talking about WeedTubers, I was going to make this channel into talking just about the plant itself, and I stumbled across Strange Show's videos, and it was like very similar to how I wanted to make my videos, and me being me, I wanted to be unique, so that made me switch up my content, made me structure my content in a different way. But I do like his content, I just don't watch it all the time. So I'm gonna put him in a C. I think in the future he could definitely move up to A, honestly. Like, he's one of those people where I think he's just gonna keep doing bigger and bigger things. Up next is Ruben Smokes. And as of recently, Ruben Smokes hasn't been too active, and that's because he's like been doing his own personal thing, IRL and that kind of stuff, and you know, he's had some health problems, and I'm always for WeedTubers taking a break and focusing on their health and mental health and that kind of stuff. So, you know, that being that, I still like his content though. Like, back in like 2021 and 2020, when Erick Khan was live streaming during COVID all the time, when he wasn't live streaming or didn't have a new video up, I watched Ruben Smokes. So that's how I personally found him. I really like his content. So I'm gonna put him in B. I think that's where I think that's where I'll put him. Up next is Drew is Sharing, and Drew is Sharing is another person who I think is very unique, in the sense that he didn't start in the WeedTube scene. Okay, he first started making videos very similar to like Sneeko. That's how he got his first initial following. I made a full video on him, and he's actually watched it, and he really likes it, and it did numbers, like really big numbers. And I think that's because he's one of the biggest like UK YouTubers. Like, you don't see a lot of UK YouTubers being that kind of size. and he gets so many views. I like his videos as well. Like, I think what he does is very unique, traveling around the world, showing different parts of the showing different parts of the world and their whole Cana scene, that kind of stuff, and I really like that. Like I think he like went to like some Middle Eastern country or like some country in South Africa. Don't I don't know the exact place, but I've seen the video. I really like that video. I thought it was really good. And I've seen some of his Amsterdam videos, and I really like those. So I'm gonna put him an A, honestly. Like, for what he's done and the type of content he makes, I think he's A. All right, up next is Young Mike, and personally, I was never a big fan of Young Mike. I think his music is okay, but I was never a big fan of watching Young Mike's content, and I currently don't know what he's up to that much, but from what the videos I have seen of his, I mean, like, I think they're okay. Like, I do like his music a lot more, so I'm gonna put him in C. Up next is Kimmy Tan, and Kimmy Tan is one of those people like Sasha, where I am not a female, so I'm not going to like the content that much, but I have seen a couple of her videos, and some of her videos are not just meant for females, like the mukbangs and like the challenge videos. Like, those are like for everybody, and I've seen a couple of them, and I really do like them. I've seen a couple of the podcasts she's been on, and you know, I think what she does is pretty good, and I think for one of the bigger female WeedTubers, she's her content's pretty good. I'm gonna put her in B. All right, up next is RawOG, and I think most people can agree with this. RawOG's content is fire. Like, personally, when I first started watching WeedTubers, I didn't watch a lot of his content, but you know, the more I get older, the more I like recognize with him, and I do some of the stuff he does, so I like his content. I watch a lot of his camping videos. That's why I like watching, because you know, camping's fire. But you know, and I like watching his fishing videos. I think those are pretty good. Usually they're combined, but yeah, no, I think RawOG is the easy A tier. And also, I didn't know he had like a little music thing going on. And I actually like his music. It's like pretty good for a YouTuber doing music. It's really good. So the next one is Days 420, and once again, like RawOG, like I his content is very similar. Like, they go out and do stuff. Like, the main focus of the video isn't always cheaping. It's about the adventure and that kind of stuff, and that's why I like those type of videos, because you know, I do like watching other WeedTubers, but I think for other WeedTubers who are going to watch this video, you can probably agree, watching other WeedTubers when you make WeedTube content it's kind of weird. Like it's what I do. It's what I like. I don't know. It's just weird. But when it does come to content, I do prefer watching other stuff that isn't WeedTube content. And Days 420 and RawOG like fill that void for me, kind of. So I'm gonna put him in A. Like, I really do like his content a lot. So the next one is Nate 420, and do I even have to explain why I'm putting him in F tier? Like, he's been F tier all my WeedTuber tier list, and that's for a reason. That's because, like, dude's just a dick. Like, I know he's going through stuff right now, but like, the stuff he's done, like, can you even justify him putting anything above F tier? Like, he made a whole video about like defending pedophiles. Like, I don't even, how you even, like, you can't. He's F tier. He's an F tier. Alright, so the next one is Dope as Yola, and this is another one where I probably don't have to explain why I'm putting him in S tier. Dope as Yola is the dude. I honestly, like, I like watching his podcast. He has one of the few podcasts I actually listen to. I listen to when I'm not at home. I listen to it on my phone. Like, I really like his content. Okay, I think what he does is something that most WeedTubers will never do in their whole career, even the really big ones, and that's going mainstream. Like, he interviews people that you would never expect a WeedTuber to be talking to, and I really find that cool. Plus his content, it's so high level. You just cannot watch it. It's like we're not watching a Mr. Beast video. Like, you have to watch the new Dopest Yola video. So up next is XCodeh, and I used to watch a lot of XCodeh. I don't watch him too much no more because it was like the type of thing where I watched them like when I would skip school and that kind of stuff, and me and the boys be watching XCodeh talk about like stories and that type of shit. But like, I don't know, I haven't watched a lot of his new content, but I really like his content. Like, it definitely was a big part of me in high school. Like, I used to skip school a lot and watch XCodeh. Like, that was the thing. So I'm gonna put him in A. Like, that's where I would put him. All right, up next is Goblin, and it's a very similar thing with XCodeh, but with Goblin, like, I still watch his videos today. I was watching his videos last night. Like, I just really like watching Goblin's content. I think it's like the perfect thing to go to sleep to. It's like, I don't know. I like watching and hearing his stories and that kind of stuff. And I think the community that he's built is like unlike many others. Like, his Discord, not his Discord, his Reddit. Even though it's a cesspool, it's fire to scroll through and see what people are doing, that kind of shit. I really like his content. I'm gonna put him in S. Like I said, this is all about what I like watching, and some people are gonna be mad about that. Like, this is not strictly like, I am going to put like their status and what they've done for the community in my judgment, but majority of it is gonna be what I like watching, and Goblin is something I still watch today a lot of, and I'm gonna put him in S tier. Alright, up next is Erick Khan, and there's another one of these people where I don't have to explain why I'm putting him in S tier. Erick Khan, for me personally, carried all of COVID. I watched every live stream. I played Call of Duty with him before. I think I was like a 20-month subscriber on his Twitch stream at one point before he got banned. I really liked watching his content. I mean, I still watch his content, not as much as I used to, but it was all through COVID. It was just watching fucking Goblin, Erick Khan, and Mr. THC and Dopest Yola. That's like, besides that, I played video games. That's all I did during COVID. Alright, up next is LMC, and LMC is another one of those people where like RawOG and Days 420, where their content is like not directly about consuming and that kind of stuff, and that's why I like his content a lot, is because I don't always want to watch someone other. I don't want to always watch someone consuming on like for their content. Sometimes I want to watch some other shit, and LMC fills that void. His content, it's like watching a documentary. Like, that's how he structures his videos. A lot of his videos are like on like Netflix quality. Like, that's what I really like about his content. Like, it's next level, and that's why I'm gonna put him in A. I think easily could be S tier. Like, the stuff that he's gonna do in the future and his content, where it's going, easy S tier. Alright, next up is Adamil, and I know a lot of people are clicking on this video to hear about my opinion on this, and I know I put it in the thumbnail. I didn't make the thumbnail, but it's in the thumbnail, so I thought I would put him in here. I know he doesn't like being called a WeedTuber, but you know, technically he does do WeedTube content. But I will say a lot of his content isn't revolved around consuming. It's other stuff, like his grilled cheese videos that he currently has going, like the cooking series that he has going. It's not even cooking, it's like a food eating series that a lot of other YouTubers do, or a lot of other YouTubers do. But I think his is really good and unique, and the way he edits it and the way he films it is unlike many other people. It's very similar to like the No Jumper one, which I really like. Plus his podcast, obviously that's his big thing, his podcast, and I do like his podcast. I watched the Goblin episode recently. I've seen obviously the Erick Khan video he's done. I've seen the Dopest Yola and the the Stoner Dottie video. I've seen the new Goblin. I think I've said that already. I've seen the new Franklin one. I really like the Franklin one. The fucking I forget his name. Goddamn. You know who I'm talking about. You know, Franklin from GTA. I've seen that podcast and I really like that one. So I mean, like, and obviously he was one of the first, like, technically one of the first WeedTubers to be doing this. He really structured the way the content is now, obviously with helping people like Dope as Yola and that kind of stuff. And he's at almost every event in California. He's not even in California. He's doing other stuff other places, but he's almost at every other. He's at all the big events. So like, I have to put him in A. I have to. I know some people are gonna be mad that I'm not putting him in S, but like I said, a big portion of how I'm structuring this tier list is what I like to watch, and I do watch some of his content. I do like some of his content, but it's not like I'm a big Adam Mill fan. Alright, up next is Matia 710, and I don't think I've ever explained how much I actually liked Matia 710's content. He's like one of the only people that I can probably say I've had like a parasocial relationship with. Like, I actually at one point obsessed over watching his content. I subbed to his Patreon at one point, which I will probably never do with anybody ever again. And I was kind of obsessed with like the whole, like, I won't even go fully into it, but like I was kind of obsessed with the whole like relationship thing he had, and he's the only person I can say I've had that kind of like parasocial thing with, is Matia 710. And I don't watch a lot of his content anymore, but let's say like a year or two ago, I was watching all of his content. I could probably give you a full timeline of his life from how much I've heard from that type from his videos and that kind of stuff, because obviously he would talk about stuff in his videos and that kind of shit. But I'm gonna put him, it's hard because I want to put him in S because how much I liked him, but I can't put him in, like, it's just hard to put him in S when I compare him to the other people in S, you know? So I'm gonna put him in A. Up next is Custom Grow 420, and personally with me, Custom Grow 420, I didn't watch a lot of his content because I wasn't around watching WeedTubers back then, but I know a bunch of people in the scene are inspired by him, started making content because of him. And I know I've seen he's shouted me out before and that kind of stuff, so I really do like him as a person. And it's different with his content because I don't really watch WeedTubers to see overconsumption, to be honest with you, and a big portion of his content is only that. So it's really hard for me to say I really like his content, because the reality is I don't really like his content, to be honest with you, but I do respect what he's done, and obviously he's a legend in the scene. And I actually knew of him before I even started consuming, because of the meme level he has around his name and that kind of stuff, and how other YouTubers would talk about him. So I'm gonna put him in A. Like, I know some people are gonna be really mad about that, but like I said before, it's about how much I like watching their content and that kind of stuff. I am obviously putting a little bit of what they've done in the scene, but majority of it is how I like watching their content. Alright, up next is Copein, and Copein is one of those very unique guys where his content doesn't get age restricted. He gets pushed into the algorithm, and like, he doesn't consume in his videos. And I always like those type of videos and that type of content creators in the YouTube scene. And I like watching, I watch his live streams a lot. I also like watching his videos. I have friends like IRL who like watching his content. A lot of friends actually who watch his content. So I'm gonna put him in A. Like, I like watching a lot of his content, and I watch his live streams sometimes. Alright, up next is iNDK, and iNDK was the first YouTuber I ever watched, and he's the reason why I got into this whole thing. I really like his videos. I'm really sad he's gone, you know. Obviously I made a bunch of videos talking about the situation, so I'm not gonna go pull into it here, but you know, he doesn't make videos no more, and all of his videos are not archived, so there's only a few left out on the internet, and I really like watching his content. He's the reason why I got into this, and just because of that, I think I have to put him in S. Alright, up next is Torres, and Torres was one of those people where when in COVID, when I was watching a lot of Ruben Smokes and Erick Khan, his videos would pop up, and that's how I found him, was during COVID, watching a Ruben Smokes video, and then his video would be recommended next to it. And I think he has, like, the type of editing he does is very similar to Erick Khan, which makes his content really good. And you know, recently he hasn't been uploading too much, and I think it's a very similar situation to Ruben Smokes, where he's just doing IRL stuff and that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna put him in B tier. Like, I didn't watch a lot of his content, but I do respect what he does, and obviously I think his content, the way he edits it, is fire. Alright, so next up is Fulcrum. And the thing with Fulcrum is I don't necessarily like a lot of his content because I feel like it's more for a younger audience, but I still respect what he's done. Like I said before, I ain't structuring this like he's done more than this other person, so he should be higher up on the list. But here's the thing with Fulcrum. He's done so much for this community that it's crazy. He put it up on a different type of pedestal, a mainstream pedestal, which I don't think many WeedTubers will ever do in their careers. So just off of that, I'm gonna put him in A tier. I know some people are gonna be like, oh, he's S tier, but personally, me, I don't watch a lot of his content. I have watched a few of his videos, and I do like them. I watched all of the Wiz Khalifa live stream, but I'm not watching all of his content. But I do respect what he's done, and I've seen what he's done, so I'm gonna put him in A tier. Next up is Pizza Brian, and it's another thing with Pizza Brian where I haven't watched a lot of his content, but you know what he's done on YouTube Shorts is pretty crazy. His YouTube Shorts and his TikToks they do numbers, and that's because the way he gets into the algorithm and that kind of stuff. And I do watch a lot of his shorts because I just be sitting there watching shorts and TikToks, and his stuff does pop up. And for that, you know, I'm putting him in B tier. Up next is Sebie G, and I feel like I mispronounced his name so much that he doesn't like me anymore, even though he's commented on a lot of my videos. But I used to butcher his name so fucking much to the point where it wasn't even funny how much I did it. But you know, I got it right now. Okay, I know Sebie G, and it was I haven't watched a lot of his content, but I used to watch a lot of it during COVID. And I feel like that's like around the time when he started really blowing up, and a lot of his videos were recommended to me. And I mean, I think they're pretty good. I mean, I think if you like Erick Khan's videos and that type of stuff, that structure of content, you're gonna like Sebie G's videos, and that's why I'm gonna put him in A tier. All right, up next is Koala Puff. And it's another situation like Silent Hippie, where because I'm a female, I'm not gonna watch a lot of the content, but I follow her on almost everything, and I've seen what Koala Puff has done in the community. She's probably one of the bigger female WeedTubers, and that isn't for no reason. A lot of her content is high quality. When she does live streams, they're usually high quality. She does stuff in the community that a lot of other people aren't doing, like consuming in Japan, which I haven't seen any other content creator really do. I don't think I've seen any, to be honest, but I've seen some stuff, but I haven't seen any content creators do some of the stuff she's done. So just for that, I'm gonna put her in A tier. Alright, next up is DZ Gas Station, and he's one of those WeedTubers I've recently been watching a lot of, and that's just simply because when I watch his content, I feel like I'm hanging out with the homies, and that's what I used to get with like Erick Khan and like people like him. Like I feel like I was chilling with the homies, and I really get that from DZ Gas Station. And I've been watching a lot of his content recently. Been watching a lot of his live streams, and personally, he's like one of my favorite upcoming WeedTubers to watch. And just because of that, I'm putting him in A tier. I think his content's really good, and if you don't know who he is, go check him out. Alright, up next is Simply Sick, and with Simply Sick, it was like another thing where I found him during COVID, and he doesn't. I watched a lot of his TikToks, but I haven't really watched a lot of his videos. But obviously, I know he makes videos. He has a YouTube channel and that kind of stuff. But I watch a lot of his TikToks. I do like those, but I ain't like the biggest Simply Sick fan. But I do know a lot of people like him because he isn't. He's just a calm dude. Like, he's just your normal dude who likes to cheat, and there's a bunch of other people like that who also like watching it. So that's a big reason why he has like his thing. And I do like some of his content, like his YouTube side, his content. I have watched a few of his videos, and personally for me, I don't watch a lot of his content, but I do like it. So I'm gonna put him in C. All right, up next is the 420 scene, and with the 420 scene, he does something that's very similar to Cupid's, where he doesn't consume in his videos and he just talks about it, but he's on the growing side of stuff. So it makes it a little bit of an interesting channel, and because of that, I like watching a lot of his content. Recently I got into growing, and I've been watching a lot of his videos recently. I think what he does is very unique, and I like his content, so I'm gonna put him in A tier. All right, up next is Cali Green, and a bunch of you are probably gonna know who Cali Green is, and that's because Cali Green's been on YouTube for a while. He's one of the OG growers on YouTube, and like I said recently, I got into growing, so I've been watching a lot of growing videos, and he's one of those people where I've seen a lot of his videos recently. A lot of his videos get recommended to me, and I think the way he structures his videos, the way he has like cool animations, and the way he talks about the plan is really cool, and I really like it. So I'm gonna put him in A tier. So up next is Tim Brown, and with Tim Brown's videos, obviously he does this thing with Pine Park, which I think he's a perfect member for it, and I think what they have going on at Pine Park with Erick Khan, Goblin, and Tim is like the perfect trio for that. And I wouldn't want it any other way. But when it comes to his content, I do like watching his content because it has a lot of behind the scenes when it comes to the whole Pine Park stuff. Like, he shows a lot of stuff, what's happening behind scenes when they go to like fan meetups. He records videos about that, and that's the stuff I like seeing. Like, I like seeing the production and what goes into making everything, and he shows that off a lot of the time. And he just has a cool nature about him. He plays video games on live streams, and I think his content is really good. I think it provides something to the community that a lot of other people aren't doing. Like, it'll be really cool if there was a behind the scenes of Dope as Yola videos, like what goes into making the Dope as Yola podcast and that kind of stuff. And Tim Brown does that for Pine Park, and he just has really cool videos where he's like cooking, hanging out with the family, and that kind of stuff, and it creates a really good community. So I'm gonna put him in A tier. So up next is Tay Stay High, and I have to say I am not a fan of Tay Stay High's content at all. I mean, I'm not gonna talk badly on another person's content because everybody has their own way of making content, and obviously there's an audience for it because he has a bunch of views. So I can't really knock him down for that. But personally, when it comes to his content, it's just not for me. I could go in and talk bash about it, but I'm simply just gonna say it's not for me, and I'm gonna put him in D tier. So up next is Strange Central, and everybody watching this video probably knows who Strange Central is, and probably everybody on this list who I'm ranking right now knows who Strange Central is. And if you ask a bunch of people on this list, like Erick Khan, Dope as Yola, Fulcrum, fucking anybody, a lot of people on this list, they're all gonna say Strange Central was a big inspiration for them. And that's like, that's the saying, like back in like, not, I want to say back in the day when it was only like 5 or 6 years ago, but 5 or 6 years ago, Strange Central was like, he was cooking with the videos. Like, everybody was watching his videos. Everybody that was today was, everybody big today was watching his content back when they were in high school and first started, like, chiefing. And Personally, I haven't watched a lot of his content. I have done a video on him, so I have seen some of his content, but it's not like I am a big Strange Central fan. But obviously, I know how much of an impact he has, and his content overall isn't bad. Like, it's pretty good. So I'm gonna put him in A tier. Alright, so the last one is Mr. Canucks. Now, I know I have a RawOG picture here. It's just I accidentally put another picture in, but the last one is Mr. Canucks. And Mr. Canucks is fire. What do I have to say? Like, I just got into growing, and his videos are basically a lot of my content I watch on YouTube, because he just puts out the information. Like, if you really want information on how to grow, he is the person. It's such a shame that YouTube restricts him so much and actually like deletes videos off his YouTube channel, and it also sucks that it takes a while for him to record his videos, because I like watching his videos. Like, I think I've watched all of his videos on his YouTube channel, and now I'm at a point where I'm just waiting for him to upload new videos. And when you have that kind of pool, and you're doing that kind of thing to people, it's something to be proud of, because that means you have some good content there. And I'm gonna put him in S tier. I think he's S tier. I really like his content. So let me know what you think about this video down in the comments. Let me know where you would put these WeedTubers. I'm gonna have the link to this whole thing, so I want you guys to make your own tier list videos. Tag me, show me on Twitter, show me on Instagram. I'll like, I'll repost, I'll give you a little shout out. Show me down in the comments what you guys think about this video. Until next time, peace.
She said I could have it. 2016 little bitch, I'm a savage. Johnny Depp's to a bitch, make all the baggage. Then I feel like a motherfucking bandit. RIP Juice WRLD, got perks in the cabinet. Sold them off on my session.